Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Houston Sports Talk back in another video today, and today the Detroit Pistons have lost to the Milwaukee Bucks 120-127 in overtime. And what a performance from Giannis Antetokounmpo. I mean, he just had to fully, I'm not gonna say carry because I look at a guy like Brook Lopez who absolutely killed it tonight. He was incredible. Taurean Prince did a really good job. Gary Trent Jr. was fantastic in this game, but Giannis almost did half the or more than half the work in the game tonight. I mean, almost 60 points and 127 points scored as a team, and did facilitate in 7 buckets. Swatted 3 buckets from the Pistons with 3 blocks, 2 steals, 14 rebounds. I'm not going to say it was all Giannis because you look at Brook Lopez, he made some clutch shots for them, 29 points and 8 rebounds with 5 blocks and 3 steals for Brook Lopez. Taurean Prince had 15 and 10 with 3 threes, and Gary Trent Jr. had 11 points with 3 threes and 2 steals and 3 assists, but Giannis was incredible in this game. And let's talk about the Pistons real quick. I want to talk about this for the Pistons. You look at any other Pistons team these last couple years when the Pistons have been bad these last couple years. No, there's no Pistons team that would have been competitive with the Milwaukee Bucks like this when Giannis Antetokounmpo was in this mode. I know the Bucks haven't been great this year. They're 4-8 now. But when Giannis Antetokounmpo is playing basketball like this, the Bucks are a good team. This is without Damian Lillard. But when Giannis is like this, it's hard to get a win. So let's credit the Detroit Pistons, who these last couple of years have not been a great basketball team. Went onto the road, went into a road situation against the Milwaukee Bucks on a second night of a back-to-back. And look, I think the previous Pistons team, whether it's last year's Pistons team, 2022-23 season, or the couple years past, the Pistons have been bad for, 3-4 years now. Any other Pistons team on a second night of a back-to-back going up against Giannis Antetokounmpo in this type of way where he's in a heater like this, he had, 22 points in the first quarter? This game would have been, it would have been over after the first quarter in Giannis in this way. What was the score after the first quarter? Detroit was winning by 3 points in the first quarter, even though Giannis had 22. So I know the Bucks are not as good as they have been in years past, but the Pistons are better than they have been in years past. And I just feel like any Pistons team in the last couple years, last 3-4 years in the past, going up against Giannis, even if he is not playing on a great team around him, they would be getting their butts kicked if Giannis had 22 points in the first quarter and scored almost 60 in the game and did everything else he did, like 3 blocks, 2 steals, 14 rebounds, 7 assists. Incredible by Giannis, but also incredible by the Pistons to keep competitive with a Bucks team like this on the road on a second night of a back-to-back when Giannis is playing basketball like this. Pistons, if you ask me, I think have been incredible this year. I talked about it in the offseason, predicting the Pistons would turn their season around. I saw the vision with their offseason additions, and the only reason I made that prediction was because of me being a Rockets fan myself, seeing the jump that we made going from a 22-win season to 41. And for me, watching what the Pistons were doing in the offseason, to me it felt like a lot of what the Rockets were doing last offseason. Going into last year's season, and that's why I just felt like the Pistons would be a way improved team going into this year's season, and they've been way more improved. I mean, they're 5-8. It's not an amazing record, but you compare to what they were before. They were 14-68 last year, and they nearly just beat a Bucks team. I mean, if it wasn't for Ron Holland selling free throws in this game, they would have won this game. 2 free throws missed for Ron Holland in this one. That's really tough. They would have beat the Bucks if it wasn't for those missed free throws. But something I heard, which is crazy, is November 13th. Pistons are 5 wins on the season. They reached their 5th win of the season on November 12th against the Miami Heat. Where was it in the season when they had 5 wins last season? It was in the middle of January last year when they reached 5 wins. 2-month difference. So the Pistons are a way better team, and they're not even that healthy right now. I mean, Tim Hardaway Jr. didn't play in this game. Usar Thompson has not played at all this year. So this Pistons team, I think, has good potential in the Eastern Conference with how up and down the East is. I mean, the Pistons, I could see being a potential playing team. We'll see, though. If not, they're outside looking in. But they competed tonight. They played a great game. Cade was amazing, 35, 11, and 7. Jalen Duren had 9 points, 9 rebounds, 6 assists. Malik Beasley was fantastic, 26 points, 10 rebounds, 4 assists. Former Milwaukee Buck returning to Milwaukee. He was one of the reasons why I loved the Pistons going in this year. His addition was one of the reasons why I was so high on the Pistons this year, and he showed out tonight, 8 for 16 from 3. Marcus Sasser, a guy I like as well. He went to University of Houston. I'm a Cougars fan. He had 11 points and hit a crazy shot that sent this game to overtime in the fourth quarter. Crazy 3 at the buzzer. Or at it wasn't the game clock that buzzer. It was the shot clock buzzer that he hit the shot. Tobias Harris which was another reason why I love this Pistons team going in this year. Didn't have a great shoot night of 14 and 15, 4 for 15, but 10 points, 8 rebounds, 5 assists, 1 steal, 2 blocks. So all around solid performance outside of his shooting, was getting rebounds and assists, and was good defensively. Let's go over the Bucks. I mean, I went over Giannis. I mean, Giannis was outstanding, 59, 14, 7, 2, 3. 21 for 34, 1 for 2 from 3, 16 for 17 at the free throw line. Taurean Prince mentioned 15 and 10 and 3 assists. Talked about Brook Lopez and what he did in this game. Talked about Gary Trent. Outside of Gary Trent and Brook Lopez and Taurean Prince combining for a total of 55 points in this ball game and a total of 11 3-pointers. There was not a lot of scoring outside of Brook Lopez, Taurean Prince, and Gary Trent Jr.'s 55 points and Giannis's 59. Outside of Giannis's 59 and the 3 players' 55, there wasn't much more. AJ Green had 3 points. Pat Connaughton had 6. Andre Jackson Jr. had 4. So there wasn't much more scoring after that. Devon Wright had 0. A bunch of players, like a total of 6 players, had DNPs. And the Pistons did something rare tonight that you don't see happen often in the NBA. A team on a back-to-back play 2 overtimes in both back-to-backs. First night of their back-to-back last night in the in-season tournament, or now called the Emirates NBA Cup. Last year's called the in-season tournament. They had an overtime win against the Heat. Tonight's an overtime loss against the Bucks. So rare that you see a team on a back-to-back play 2 overtime games, but the Pistons did that. 1 win, 1 loss. You could argue the Pistons should have never been playing in an overtime if it wasn't for 2 missed free throws by Ron Holland. Let me know your thoughts on this game in the comment section, and peace out.